The Shepherdess and the Magic Mirror. A while ago, in the kingdom of Granada, the king decided that he was going to get married, and he issued a proclamation calling forth all the eligible young women who might want to be queen. Well, all the princesses from different kingdoms and all the noble ladies from all over the land were so excited because the king was handsome and wise and kind and also very rich. But then they heard about the condition. And you see, the condition was a very simple thing. It didn't seem that hard. It just so happens that the king had a magic mirror. The kind of mirror that could see beyond your eyes into your soul and see all the way into your deepest, darkest secrets. And this mirror, when you looked into it, would reveal there on your reflection all of your worst faults, no matter how hard you tried to hide them. Well, when the noblemen of the kingdom heard that that was all the women had to do, they were horrified, because they said, well, that way any woman at all could lay claim to be Queen of Granada. But strangely, no women showed up to look into that mirror. Because you see, you had to look at yourself in the mirror in the courtyard in front of everybody, and there were a lot of people who didn't want to see what the mirror might have to show. Now, a lot of women watched to see who might go in, but they didn't really want to go in themselves. And days passed, and then weeks, and then even months, and the king was starting to get upset. Are there no good women in Granada? What's going on? Well, Your Majesty, said the barber, and it had been his idea to bring the mirror in the first place. Your Majesty, there is one woman who said that she was willing to face the mirror, but she's just a shepherdess, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to marry someone as poor as her. Well, said the king, if she is willing to face the mirror, then I am willing to meet her and give her a chance. Bring her and tell her that she's the only one. Well, the shepherdess quite shyly entered the courtyard, and when people heard that finally somebody was going to face the magic mirror, hundreds of people gathered together. They wanted to see. They wanted, especially all those fine, elegant, rich, wealthy princesses who wanted to see just how bad someone else was and possibly feel a bit better about themselves. Now, as the shepherdess walked shyly into the court, feeling all these hundreds of eyes staring at her, somebody whispered, "Aren't you scared?" She smiled. And when she came up, the king said, "Well, are you ready?" "Yes," she said. The king narrowed his eyes and stared at her. She was quite pretty, but she did smell like sheep. And the king asked, "Why have you come instead of all of these others who, let's be honest, seem a bit more queenly, no offense?" "None taken," said the shepherdess. "I know for sure that I don't seem the type of person to be a queen, and I'm not really that interested in becoming a queen. But I'm curious to see what the mirror has to say. I mean, I think I know my faults, and all the people who know me well know them pretty well too. I'm not afraid of it showing me anything, but I'm always trying to learn about myself and be better. I know that I'm not perfect at all, but I'm content with who I am as long as every day I'm better, even if just a little bit, than I was before." "Very well then," said the king, smiling and quite pleased. "Here is the mirror." And he pulled over the cloth that was covering it, and the shepherdess held her head high, looking straight into her reflection, and a gasp went up from the crowd. And the shepherdess looked confused, because the mirror didn't show anything, just her face. And finally somebody cried out, "There's no magic! It was a trick! It's just a normal mirror! She's not deserving to be queen!" But the king stepped forward and put his arms over her shoulders. "Ah," he said, "she is more deserving to be queen than anyone else here. Because only those who are willing to look at themselves honestly are deserving of the power and responsibility that a throne brings. Your Majesty," he said to the shepherdess, "follow me. If you wish, I would like you to be my wife." And as far as I know, they lived happily and ruled well ever after.